Okay, this is the Professor, CBMD PhD, and today is Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. It is 2:02 and 7 seconds, p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and today's research, forever chemicals and cancer. So let's hop to it here. As certain per and polyfluoral forever chemicals identified as potential risk factor for thyroid cancer. Date October 24th. 1923. Source: the Mount Sinai Hospital, University. As polyfluoroalkyl substances, also known as forever chemicals, are a large, complex group of synthetic chemicals that can migrate into the soil, water, and air due to their strong carbon-fluorine bond. These chemicals do not degrade easily in the environment. Has forever chemicals been used in consumer products around the world since the 1940s, including non-stick cookware, water-repellent clothing, stain-resistant fabrics, and other products that resist grease, water, and oil. And this scientific study supports the actions needed to regulate and remove these chemicals from potential exposure for hours. Although polyfluoroalkyl substances exposure has been identified as a potential contributor to recent increases in thyroid cancer, limited studies have investigated the association between polyfluoroalkyl substances exposure and thyroid cancer in human populations. With the substantial increase of thyroid cancer worldwide over recent decades, they want to dive into the potential environmental factors that could be the cause for this rise. This led them to the finding that polyfluoroalkyl substances, forever chemicals, may at least partially explain the rise of thyroid cancer, are in an area they should continue to study further. As thyroid cancer risks from polyfluoroalkyl substances exposure is a global concern given the prevalence of polyfluoroalkyl substances exposure in our world. The study provides critical evidence to support large-scale studies further exploring the effect of polyfluoroalkyl substances exposure on the thyroid gland. The scientific investigators and microbiologists studied 88 thyroid cancer patients with plasma samples collected either at or before cancer diagnosis and 88 non-cancer controls, people who did not develop any form of cancer who matched on sex, race, ethnicity, age within 5 years, body mass index, smoking status, and year sample collection. The researchers measured levels of polyfluoroalkyl substances in blood samples from the participants using untargeted metabolomics. The levels of individual polyfluoroalkyl substances were compared between the group of participants who developed thyroid cancer and the group of healthy participants using different statistical models to estimate accuracy. The results showed that exposure to perfluorooctane, sulfonic acid, and PFOS, a group of chemicals under the polyfluoroalkyl substances umbrella, led to a 56% increased risk of thyroid cancer diagnosis. Additionally, the researchers conducted the analysis again in a subgroup of 31 patients who had at least a year between their enrollment and their diagnosis of thyroid cancer to take into consideration the time lag between exposure to polyfluoroalkyl substances, chemicals, and developing a disease. And from this second analysis, there was also a positive association between the exposure of perfluorooctane, sulfonic acid, and the risk of thyroid cancer, as well as a positive association with a few additional polyfluoroalkyl substances, chemicals, including brand perfluorooctane sulfonic acid, perfluoronucleic acid, and perfluorophosphonic acid, and linear perfluorohexane sulfonic acid. And today, it is nearly impossible to avoid polyfluoroalkyl substances in our daily activities. We hope these findings bring awareness of the severity of these forever chemicals. Everyone should discuss their polyfluoroalkyl substances exposure with their treating physician to determine the risk and get screened if appropriate. In addition, we need continued industry changes to eliminate polyfluoroalkyl substances altogether. And this is the Professor of Microbiology, Bioinformatics, Pathophysiology, and Nature of Research. This video was created for educational purposes only. Hope you enjoyed listening. Until next time, have an awesome day.